Hello everyone, welcome to a DSP video. I'll be going through the pre-stream where DSP talks about Zombie Go Boom getting sued. I do know that he's doing his Hate Live podcast as I'm recording this video. I will cover that whenever I get the chance, but I'll cover it. But I decided to make this video just, right now, get this out of the way. But I also want to talk about his profile picture that he changed, and I want to talk about his thumbnails. If you want to get straight to the pre-stream stuff, I'll put the time stamp in the description below, so you can just go straight there if you want. But let's get right into it with this picture. Now, before he had this Dark Souls fan art that looked really good, it looked really nice, and I actually did like that picture. And then he decided to switch his Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter to this Sonic avatar, which is complete garbage in my opinion. I don't think it looks good at all. I think for fan art, if it's just like a bumper for a Sonic playthrough or whatever, that's fine. It works better in that regard. But when you're putting this as a face for your public presence, it just looks weird. It looks like it belongs in the weird part of DeviantArt, the part where like the furries go, all that kind of shit. It just looks like he's coming from that kind of odd neck of the woods on the internet. It just doesn't look professional, and when you look at it at a first impression, it doesn't look that you want to give this person the time of day or to take him seriously, and that is a big thing with DSP. It's one thing if DSP doesn't want to be taken seriously, then it probably would have worked better, but the thing is that the way DSP runs his Twitter, the way he talks in his videos, all the stuff, he wants to be taken seriously. But when you look at this at that picture, you can't take it seriously. Like, even on his Patreon, it's that same Sonic picture. And especially when you look at the Pokemon fan art that's in the background, the Pokemon fan art is actually nice. So that's actually a nice piece of fan art that he received that he's using. I really don't believe that SkySins made it. I really don't believe that he did. Honestly, it's a little conspiracy theory I have about that, but this Sonic picture is just so bad. And I know I might get a comment in the comment section on this video that's going to say, "Oh, Theo, it's not that bad, you're exaggerating," and that might be the case. I might be exaggerating. I probably am exaggerating, but I just want to just kind of talk about this fan art, because I just think it's bad in the realm of him trying to portray himself as a professional YouTuber or a professional presence, a person to be taken seriously, and then you see this profile picture, and you just can't take it seriously. The Dark Souls one, I could take a little bit more seriously than this. And the other thing I want, so there's that. The other thing is that the line art in this particular profile picture I don't really like. I'm not saying that my line art's any better, but I take a lot. I go through a lot of passes with my lines. I don't really stick to a first draft of a drawing. I keep going back and thinning out the lines. Even if I have like color on the page on my computer, I still go back and fix the line work. If I see if there's something wrong, if a line's too thick, too thin, I go back and I try to fix that. I don't really like this kind of line art, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it works in some areas. Like, it works on like kind of like the features of the face, like the eyes and the nose. Like thin lines work for those well, but when you try to apply it to like the whole face, I just don't really like that personally, but whatever. The hat is just it looks terrible. The perspective is completely off, by the way, and it's distracting me. That's the thing that I wanted to talk about. The proportions, the outlines of this picture distract me. It looks like that DSP's face got like flattened by a steamroller. And yeah, there's shading, sure, but like when you look at the eyes, if you're doing a quarter view, like this is a profile picture, right? You're looking straight at the camera. If you do like this, you see how the cheek side is kind of narrow when you look at it, and then when you look at the brow ridge, it kind of goes at a diagonal angle. If you flatten out in 2D space, it kind of goes in that angle. This person who did that did not do that at all. There's no perspective. There's nothing that reflects the perspective that they're going for with this. Like, we're seeing way too much of DSP's right side of his face. Even if okay, sure, you might say, "Oh, but he's fat, Theo." But even then, you still would not see like the full side of his right face when he's doing this. That's not how it works. If you're doing a quarter view or an angled view, you're not going to see that much of his cheek on the right side or on, you know, whatever. The eyes are not aligned very well. As I said before, when you're doing a quarter angle, they kind of, you know, you have to tilt it a little bit for it to give the illusion of a third dimension, that kind of stuff. It's a lot of implied space you have to add to a face because a face is not flat. Even if you're doing stylized artwork, you cannot do that. The thing is that when you're trying to do a stylistic artwork or anime style, whatever, you're going to need to understand how the face works, and you have to understand realistic proportions. You can't just go straight into an anime style at all. You cannot just go straight there because you need to understand how eyes work. You need to understand the proportions of things before you can start to manipulate them a little bit. Because you know, a lot of people manipulate the eyes and make them a little bit bigger, but they have to understand how eyes are and the realistic interpretation. And when you try to port it over to anime style, you can kind of exaggerate them while make them look good. You know, a lot of these anime artists that you see, like, you know, in animes, all that kind of stuff, they understand realistic proportions. Yeah, their artwork is a little stylistic when you look at anime, but they understand how bodies work and how proportions work. That's why they can play with some exaggerations in the poses. There's still some there's a rule of balancing realism with exaggeration, sure, but you kind of have to understand realism to do that. You can't just play with exaggeration that quickly. No one can do that. You kind of have to understand that, as I said. So that's bothering me about this picture. The nose is okay. The nose is okay. I'll let the nose slide. The other thing I don't understand, and we'll get to the hat, is the random color spots. Look at it. There's purple here on his shirt. There's light blue on his hat in random places. A purple on his hat. All these weird color splotches. What the fuck is that? I don't get it. I could understand if there was like a reason for it, but there isn't. Like, so you have random colors, random lines that kind of imply that he got beat up. That's what it looks like. DSP looks like he got beat the fuck up in this picture, and that's what he wants to use to kind of give you this impression on Twitter, Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, is to see this picture of DSP being beat up in a Sonic hat. That's what it looks like to me. The hat looks completely off, as I said. When you do a perspective, it kind of throws, you kind of have to align it better. The ears are a little bit weird. They are not very well sized. The hat is too big, even bigger than the actual hat, which is weird. Like, it's bigger in the front side than the back. You would think it'd be the other way around, where the front would be smaller and then the back would be bigger. But here, it's like the complete opposite. It looks more ridiculous when you look at it. The more I look at this picture, the more triggered I get. The lighting doesn't make any sense. There's a light source coming from this side. Like, if you look at, like, where the hairline is, and then where it looks like the light is coming this way on his face, and then we look at his neck, it looks like there's light coming this way, but tilted up or something. It's kind of weird because his neck has two tones of shadows. Like, up here is like the darkest tone, then here's like is not so dark. So I don't really get how, like, is his neck kind of like going in and out? Like, does he have like his neck? It just doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't look like a proper shadow. Shadows are you kind of mix the colors with dark blue, purple. You kind of have to get these colors to kind of lower the intensity. You can't just throw in black, because black will just gray the entire thing out. It's not going to make it look like a shadow. You kind of have to experiment with a lot of colors. Color theory is a bitch. I will say that color theory and color mixing is just a headache in of itself. So I'm not too harsh on that. I'm just mostly harsh on how many tones are on the neck compared to the face, and how it just doesn't really make sense. Lighting is kind of a pain as well, but you should have you should try to get a basic understanding. Like, to me, when I do shading, I try to, at the very least, either to find a reference to get to understand lighting, or I try to keep it simple. Don't try to complicate shadows. If you don't quite understand how rim lighting works or reflective lighting works, just make it simple and make it plain. You don't need to do anything outstanding or amazing if you don't quite get it. I try to go with the more simplistic approach. Some pictures I try to push myself a little bit more to kind of further to learn more about shading and lighting. So I do a mix of that a lot of the times. It's a lot of practice you have to go through. The hat is not really centered well on DSP's head on this picture. I don't really quite understand why the artist made his hair show through the hat. Like, it just looks kind of weird. It just looks jarring. It just looks like that the hat was added later on. Like, this is what it looks like. It looks like that this guy took someone else's art of Phil and then just threw that Sonic hat over it, and he didn't think about how the Sonic hat would fit. I don't know. It just looks really weird, because how come his hair shows up on the left side of his face, but on the right side there's no hairline? Like, what is causing that to happen with the hat? It makes no fucking sense. Even in real life, when he wears that Sonic hat, he covers his hair. This hat is just it's so baffling. And the side is weird. Like, is he having the chin strap on? I don't know. It's kind of disgusting to look at this, especially when you're trying to take this YouTuber seriously. I mean, even look at this joke art of DSP and that Sonic hat. That looks a lot better than the other one. Even though it's kind of troll art and he looks really depressed, but the hat fits fine. I think that the quality isn't that nice on this particular picture. I mean, the face looks good, but when you look at the hat's kind of whatever, but it looks infinitely better than this, in my opinion. But let's go to his gaming channel. Look at these thumbnails. Oh, excuse me. These thumbnails are whatever. They're not terrible. They're not the worst thumbnails, but these thumbnails are kind of lame. Like, oh, here's a picture of her face. Number on side, title on top. There's really nothing interesting about these. Like, they don't have DSP's name on it, which is fine. Again, these are just very generic thumbnails. But then you go to his Batman Telltale game, and there's no thumbnails. And so there's really, it's an inconsistency that goes on. And the other thing is that kind of bothers me is that he did facecam for the Batman Telltale series, but he said he wouldn't do facecam and shit for these kind of games, but he did it for this anyway. Okay. And the other thing I want to talk about thumbnails is the last thing before we get into that pre-stream. I really don't like. I don't like that he's having his fans make these thumbnails. I don't like that personally. It's a nice gesture. I'm not necessarily saying that how dare these fans of his make thumbnails for him. That, it's fine that they want to do that. It's fine that they want to. I just think it's kind of shitty on DSP's end that he doesn't even want to do it. Especially, and I just find it funny that that YouTube wanted to teach him how to do thumbnails. He's like, I don't need to know that. Fuck it. But he has his fans do it for him. Like, that's what I mean. That his fans are basically his slaves. They do all this work and they get nothing out of it. They get a thank you. And I'm not saying that these fans, need to demand money. But the thing is that they do it all the time, and it's. I wouldn't be surprised if DSP starts to laying down heavy hints that he wants his fans to do thumbnails for him, period. Because sometimes these fans make thumbnails for a set number and then they don't continue to make more for him. So in one playlist you could see parts 1 through 50 with thumbnails. Then from 51 and onward there's no thumbnails. Then maybe from part 60 to 70 there's thumbnails again, but then onward there's no more thumbnails. It's just so weird that DSP cannot do thumbnails himself, but it's probably because he makes so many fucking parts. So, there we go. Now we can get to the pre-stream you all want to listen to. So, let me get my bullshit headphones on, and now let's get started.
Now, let's talk about the other thing that's going on this morning. All right, well, it's this afternoon now. By the way, this is not brand new news, but it just came to light in the public eye. Apparently, some people already knew about this, but it just came to light because I guess there's a lawsuit that was publicly filed, and now you can actually read it online. And so other YouTubers are covering this now. And I would like to talk a little bit about it because I've talked about this for years, ladies and gentlemen.
If you hear me, like, doing shit with my nose, I apologize. I woke up, like, really congested, and it's really bothering me now. So I apologize. I'll try to, like, mute my audio when I do it, okay? So, fair warning.
It's finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally happened. A major YouTuber, okay, who has millions of subs, who makes millions of views, gets millions of views on their videos, all right, who for 6+ years was making YouTube their living, was finally so negatively affected by the changes that YouTube has done.
I want to do this as well. I almost forgot, because I asked people before how accurate is DSP with this lawsuit, with his explanation of this lawsuit, because I always have the thought that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about when he brought this up. So someone in this guy's chat actually talked about it. So here's what the comment said, and it captures it pretty nice, but we'll put the whole thing. Thyri Carver says, what DSP is saying is not what the lawsuit is about. What the lawsuit is about is the ranking system that advertisers can opt out of content that is below a certain threshold, A, B, C, and D rated channels, and advertisers can say they only want to advertise on A ranked channels. That is the crux of the lawsuit. Not the lack of emails saying your advertiser unfriendly. If people want to see what is actually in the lawsuit, Leonard French has a read through of the lawsuit. The problem with the lawsuit is that it tends to ramble a bit like Phil is. Zombie Go Boom has gone from the ranking system to losing paid content deals or losing profitability on these deals. Can Zombie Go Boom prove that it's YouTube's fault that he lost the profitability of these deals? Can Zombie Go Boom prove it's YouTube's fault that the advertisers don't want to advertise on YouTube? That's outside of the free market. Phil wants to know the algorithm again so he can scam the system. Exactly. That's exactly what he wants to do. And I agree with this. I think that's probably what the lawsuit is. I don't really... Because, the way that DSP described it sounded way too perfect for him. Like, it's like, oh, they're suing them for things that I said that they would get sued for. And it's like, that's not really what's going on. I just don't believe that. Because, like, the thing that YouTube is doing, I feel, is more in line with the law. But let's get into what DSP has to describe, because he says a lot of fun shit in this pre-stream.
To their business and the website, that they are suing YouTube. All right? This is something I've talked about for years, because people constantly say to me, Phil, you always mention false copyright strikes negatively affecting you. Ad revenue changes negatively affecting you. You getting thrown out of the search algorithms and this and that.
But him getting thrown out of the search ranking was his fault, because he deleted and made private all these videos. Again, he was with Machinima. He could have easily gotten his channel back if these were false copyright strikes. He had a connection with Machinima at the time. So he should have just kept all those videos alive, and then at most slowly delete some of them. Like, with each hundreds of millions of videos that he uploads every day, delete the same number of videos that he uploads each day. That way it's not a drastic deletion, it's nothing that's gonna fuck him over, but he did it on a knee-jerk reaction, which he shits on YouTube for doing.
That used to be big on YouTube, and now you're really not big anymore. So why don't you
Yeah,
do something about it?
It's YouTube's fault that he's not popular anymore. Okay. I guess with that logic, it's YouTube's fault that my main channel, Theo Does Videos, doesn't get a lot of views, guys. It's YouTube's fault, not mine.
Why don't you sue YouTube and go to court with them to take them to task for what they've done? To which I always respond, it's very simple. It'd be one thing if I were rich, right? If I were making millions of dollars a year on YouTube, okay? And if I were making, you know, enough money that I could say, okay, I have a nest egg where I've made so much money that if I get kicked off of YouTube or if YouTube changes or goes out of business or whatever, that I'm still okay, I would sue YouTube. All right?
The idea that there's YouTubers that make millions of dollars on YouTube is such a fantasy. I really don't believe any YouTuber sees that kind of money. That is a little ridiculous. I mean, the most I could believe would be PewDiePie making that much, but I can't believe, like, I can't believe Mega64, Red Letter Media, H3H3, The Angry Video Game Nerd, who else? Video Game Donkey, all those YouTubers making millions. I can't see them making that much money. That just sounds insane to me. So, I don't get where Phil gets this idea. It's like he's applying real world economics and like how the real world, like how there's like different classes of workers. Like there's like the rich people, then there's like the middle class workers, and there's the lower class workers that do like retail jobs or whatever. Middle class might be doing some high end retail jobs, or they might be CEOs and, you know, whatever. I just don't quite get how that works with YouTube, because YouTube is just whatever. I mean, he's applying this like this discussion of profitability and the class system and money ranking, all that kind of shit to YouTube, which that isn't really a thing, because YouTube isn't a stable job. It's not a secure job. It's not a well-paying job. The only way that it could be well-paying is if you have a very like stable income of fans donating to you, etc., etc.
I would, because I have definitive evidence, conversations that were documented, all kinds of stuff over the years.
He has documented what? Well, Phil, YouTube and Google probably have the same records that you have with those employees, and they could probably use that against you. They could probably say, well, you know, this is that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not Mr. Detective here. I'm not fucking Batman, but he really thinks that YouTube doesn't have similar records. I don't know. And I gotta say, this fan art is pretty fucking weird. A troll had to have made this. There's no way a fan made this fan art. No way.
Proving that YouTube's changes and business practices to their website and business are basically anti-competitive. They are monopolistic. They think that...
What? Did you, like, go to them and say, like, well, YouTube, if you don't get your shit together, I'm going to VidMe or something? And they said, haha, good luck going there because we have the monopoly. Yeah, okay, I'm sure you have conversations like that. Sure, Phil. Yeah, I'm sure your emails can prove that. Okay. I would like to see these emails, Phil. Why don't you show them?
That with a heavy hand, they could just change anything they want without actually disclosing information to the common content creator, completely changing a person's livelihood or revenue. All right.
How? Who? What? There's no way he has that email. There's no way he has proof that proves all of that. There's no fucking way. I'm sorry. There's no way that guy, that DSP who is struggling on YouTube has evidence like that. If he did, he would not even need to worry about having money to get a lawyer or whatever. He could just hand that information to someone who can take them to court for him or whatever. No, there's no way he has proof. No, that's bullshit. No, I'm calling bullshit on that.
It's pretty bad. But the thing is, I'm not rich. I'm
That
not,
is a lot.
you know, in a situation. I mean, right now I'm in a terrible situation financially. I have no money. That's why, you know, you guys coming out and watching my streams and watching the videos and contributing and everything. That's how I'm barely paying my bills every month. Okay, make no bones about it. You know, I'm certainly
like yesterday when I'm recording this, which would be Wednesday. He said that, oh, I got an email from my bank saying I nearly overdrafted my account. And that same day, I think, he said in a pre-stream that wasn't recorded up for YouTube. That he said that he's gonna get Netflix. He's in a tight financial spot, but he's gonna get Netflix, a service he said on record before that he can't afford. Okay.
Not in any kind of a successful situation right now where I can do these kind of things. But I always said, if someone huge on YouTube decided to sue YouTube, that they could take them to court. And, you know, there's lots of things YouTube's have done over the years that are basically illegal. But they think they can get away with it because they're the #1 video sharing website. And everyone knows that if they sue YouTube, chances are you're not going to be able to make YouTube your job anymore, right?
Or win the court, because guess what? YouTube probably has a lot of good lawyers on their behalf to defend them. So either you're going to get a very expensive settlement to deal with, or you're going to get fucked. Either way, the outcome is not going to be what you want.
And no one wants that, so no one's ready to bite the hand that feeds them. That's the bottom line. No one wants to bite the hands that feeds them at all. So,
oh my God, that audible goal.
That being said, there is a YouTuber named Zombie Go Boom. All right?
I don't know who they are.
Almost 2 million subs, I believe. They get hundreds of thousands or more of views on every video that they put out. Been in operation for 6+ years on YouTube. I believe they actually opened the channel in 2011. Okay. And they don't know they're not millionaires. They don't make millions of dollars on their videos or anything like that. In fact, if you read the lawsuit, okay, it basically states outright that they probably make anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000 a year on their channel. Okay. Now that's based off of ad revenue. Keep in mind that a channel with that kind of reach, they probably get tons of sponsorship deals. In fact, they even call out in their lawsuit that at times they've had deals to make videos that $6,000 a video. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Just based off of ad revenue, they're making $100,000 to $200,000 on that, and then they're making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on sponsorships behind the scenes of everything going on as well. Okay. Fair enough. So, that being said, this channel, basically from what I'm to understand, has a lot of violence on it. Although I guess people are saying it's in line with essentially the Walking Dead television show, but it's nowhere near as graphic. It's more cartoony. It's more meant to be pretty silly, and they do a lot of gameplay, but skits and stuff with violence against zombies.
I went to their channel and I did a light skim of their videos. It doesn't look like they do any gameplay. I haven't seen gameplay unless they haven't uploaded gameplay shit in a while. Everything I've seen, their thumbnails at least, it looks like that they just kind of make weapons and they experiment their weapons on food items or whatever. It looks like it's that kind of channel. I don't really know them that well. I'm sure someone in the comments is gonna be like, well, they do this, Theo. Come on. So there you go. I like how he has this fan art too. I think this fan art is also troll art. I mean, just look at it. Just look at it. He spells "oh shit, dude" like the way detractors spell it, because the way that DSP says "dude," it's like "dude." He emphasizes the middle part of it.
And shit. I don't know. I've never watched their stuff. I'm just judging based off of the vibe I'm getting from what people are saying about them on the internet. So basically, they have this channel where they're doing these kind of videos. All right. And
get it.
What happened was earlier this year, for those of you who aren't aware, YouTube basically lost about 5% of their major advertisers because they did research and found that advertisements were completely automated. Excuse me, and this is true. Advertisements are completely automated.
That's not really what happened. What happened? Well, I mean, the automated part, okay, sure, but uh, our favorite news, everyone's favorite news network, aside from CNN, the Wall Street Journal made a story about how YouTube ads go to uh, racist channels and stuff like that, and then YouTube kind of was like, "Oh shit, better take care of that," and then uh, there you have it.
On YouTube. There's no person who actually, divvies out ads. It's all a robot.
All robot.
And the way it worked was it was just giving ads to every kind of video. Videos with hate speech, videos that were racist, videos that were in supporting of ISIS and terrorism, all kinds of shit like that. Advertisers got wind of this, and about 5 to 10% of the major advertisers on YouTube pulled their funding, and therefore YouTube lost a ton of ad revenue, and they decided to institute new changes by which they were going to have a new algorithm that would say, oh, your video is either ad friendly or not, based off of certain criteria, including graphic violence, including adult language, including a lot of factors, sexual content, that kind of stuff, okay? Now, the problem here with what YouTube did...
I'm going to say this, I think I said this before, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the advertiser unfriendly thing. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. I just think that what YouTube should have done was class each video, obviously by, like, like have a rating system. You know how, like, when you go to TV, there's, like, shows that are rated for the general audience, or, like, the movie system where there's, like, R-rated movies, that kind of stuff. YouTube should have just done that, where it's like, okay, if you're gonna have mature content, check this box that says it's for mature content, it's for audiences over the age of 18, this and that, and then, there you go. And then if there's videos that have adult content in them, but they did not check off that's for mature audiences, have it so that way then you can say, okay, this video's not, advertiser friendly because it's not for the audience that, that should be watching this. It's not rated properly, that kind of shit. I think doing this to just in general with every video, I think was a little ridiculous, but honestly, after that news report, I really doubt people expected YouTube would not do anything about it. I was waiting for them to do a reaction like this. Everyone was expecting it. I feel like, at least. I mean, there's no way that you're gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, it is what it is. Like,
is that they didn't do any research. It's not like they actually went out there and said, gee, how can we do this effectively? It was a knee-jerk reaction because they lost a ton of money on advertisement revenue. So they threw something together quickly.
And with one YouTuber who got false copyright strikes, and she just immediately started deleting and privating videos, just because it was affecting the bottom line. And then, without doing any proper research, he found out that he got knocked off the search rankings. I wonder what YouTuber I'm talking about, guys. It's a mystery, dude. If you get it right, you'll get the jackpot of monies, dude. I'll give you gout if you guess it right.
In a month of them losing all this ad revenue, they put out a new algorithm. The algorithm didn't work. All right, what it did is it ended up flagging a ton of videos that had nothing to do whatsoever with advertisement or advertiser unfriendly content, and saying that they were advertiser unfriendly. Okay, channels such as Zombie Go Boom, where all they did was skits where they would fight zombies and do silly cartoonish violence with gameplay and stuff interjected in there. Basically, the entire channel was deemed as advertiser unfriendly, and they lost 90.
I don't even know if there's gameplay in those videos, and honestly, if it's like a channel that does violence, I honestly believe that could make people say, "Oh, I don't want my product associated with that." I could definitely believe advertisers feeling that way. But the other thing that's kind of funny, when you look at the movie industry, when you have like Red Letter Media's their Mr. Plinkett's Ghostbusters review. Shout out to Red Letter Media. They mentioned how they had a free shout out to Pringles, and they did not clear it with Pringles at all. And that could have led to a lawsuit with Sony over that representation of Pringles, because Pringles may not want their product associated with a shitty movie. That's why when you film a movie, you kind of have to clear a lot of stuff with a lot of companies if you're gonna have a product in it. Like, if I did a movie and I had an Apple computer in there and I did not clear it with Apple, I could probably get in trouble with Apple, because I have their product associated with a movie that they did not clear with me, or that I did not clear with them, and all that kind of stuff. You would think that these advertisers would have the same kind of like issue with YouTube, because it's the internet. People are making money now on YouTube. I mean, again, as I've said many times, when you add money to a service like YouTube, it starts to muck up a lot of fucking things. It changes a website for the worse, and I guarantee if VidMe ever gets like a monetization similar to YouTube, VidMe's gonna go in the same direction. The same direction. I really don't care. Like, yeah, the first 10 years, they might not go through that, but they will, because it's money, money, money.
90% of their ad revenue earlier this year. Okay? 90%. 90%.
90%.
Now, me, personally, I lost about 50%. Okay? What I'm assuming is that YouTube ran their algorithm or whatever, and basically said, oh, this percentage of your videos are not advertiser friendly, and took the ads off of them. By the way, just so you guys know, you may not realize this, but now what was I going to say? Fuck, I got distracted because someone just did a cheer, and I'm appreciative of that, but it distracted me, and I lost my train of thought.
Fucking cheers, man.
What I was going to say was, you may not realize is, YouTube doesn't notify you, okay, when they decide to demonetize a video. You don't get an email. You don't get a notification at all. YouTube just does it. And yes, if they do demonetize a video, you do have the ability to appeal it. But basically the appeals process is you click a button and say, I appeal it. And then you either get a yes or no answer, and that's it. Now, just to give you some perspective here.
Give some perspective.
I have over 40,000 gameplay videos on YouTube. Okay? Guess how many email notifications I got that videos were deemed advertiser unfriendly and the ads were being removed from them? 2. I'm not even exaggerating. I got 2 emails. And I know for a fact that this is not correct, because guess what? When I was playing earlier this year Horizon Zero Dawn, for whatever reason, something in the Horizon Zero Dawn playthrough was deemed by YouTube as advertiser unfriendly, and literally that entire playthrough, within a day of me uploading,
I'm pretty sure he made a joke in the first part of that playthrough that was kind of distasteful. It was, I mean, a lot of the jokes could be deemed that way, because the way that I understood advertiser unfriendly, it's not that it's like detected by an automated system. Like if you say something in a video that is like kind of ridiculous or like whatever, they will deem that advertiser unfriendly. They don't go by titles. They don't go by tags or anything like that. They go by what the content of the video is. So if DSP made a video and said like, shit that could be deemed advertiser unfriendly, that's probably what happened. And I think he said something in these Horizon Zero Dawn that was kind of like in line with that. But I think I'm kind of surprised it was that, though, because in a Yakuza 0 playthrough, though, he had the word rape. He made a rape joke in the title of a video, and that didn't get flagged, I guess.
and monetizing those videos, they were all deemed as advertiser unfriendly, and I had to manually appeal each video in order to get ads back on those videos. But guess what? I never received an email for one of those videos. Out of that entire long-ass playthrough.
Wait, he said, he said not too long ago that he got an email for 2 videos in the Horizon Zero Dawn playthrough that were deemed advertiser unfriendly. Now he's saying he did not get an email. Which is it, Phil? Did you get an email or not? I assume he means that he didn't get an email for the entire playthrough and he probably thought it was just those 2 videos. But watch, like, in the email it said, like, these 2 videos have deemed your entire playlist of this video to be advertiser unfriendly. And there you go. That's probably what happened. But Phil has a hard time reading emails, so I don't think he saw that part of the email. Again, I don't understand how he could say that there was an email, now he's saying that there was no email. Figure that one out.
I got no notices from you 2.
None.
So I can only imagine out of the 40 to 50,000 gameplay videos that I have monetized on DSP Gaming, how many of those videos actually got demonetized, and I have no way to know which ones did, and obviously there's no way for me to actually go back and manually fix that. There's not even a formal appeals process to say, oh, here's the queue of videos that were demonetized, mass appeal them, or anything like that. Nothing. YouTube implemented this algorithm and basically said, fuck you, content creators. We don't care if this completely screws over your business because we're YouTube and we're a monopoly and we control the market for video sharing. Tough titties. And just launched this thing without notifying anyone it even existed.
It's their fucking website. They can do whatever the fuck they want. If anything, like, DSP, they could, like, take your channel off of YouTube if they want and make some bullshit reason for it. It's their website. It sucks. Yeah, look, you can criticize how they run their website. That's fair. That's fine. But, like, he acts as if, like, they can't make changes to their website. Like, no, they can. They can do whatever they want.
And fucked everybody over.
Like,
okay.
I mean, it's like if you're working at a job. Let's say you're working at McDonald's. And you're having a happy day. You're like, oh, man, I'm making good money here. I get to, make burgers all day. Great. The boss comes in and says, all right, everyone, we're going to have a new policy. I guess they do tell the employees that they made this change. So, but at the same time, YouTube could say, well, we announce these changes on our blog that no one reads. So, but still, like, it's their website. They can make changes all they want because it's their website. It's like a boss can make any new policies for their McDonald's branch because it's their branch. They could do whatever the fuck they want.
Okay. So, I lost 50% of my ad revenue. That's not an exaggeration. From the months of, let's say, September, October, November, December, January, those 4 to 5 months, to February, March, my ad revenue plummeted by 50% on YouTube.
But I thought when he went to Curse, you were making more money. Remember, down with Machinima? Oh, to hell with Machinima. I'm making way more with Curse. Now you're not making more with Curse. What? Which is it? I can never understand. I can never follow his story that well. It changes way too much.
So, knowing that, I had to implement a ton of changes. Okay, a ton. An absolute ton of changes. The changes I had to implement.
I thought he had to make these changes because he isn't in a managed partnership anymore. Again, his story is changing, guys.
Where that I had to basically make it that YouTube was no longer my focus. Okay? That YouTube was going to be kind of the side thing. That, yes, I'll upload the videos to YouTube, but streaming is going to be my focus. Where I interact with you guys on stream here every day. And, through cheers and subs and tips, that I would be able to make enough revenue streaming to make up for the lost revenue on YouTube. The good news is, it's worked. You guys have been amazing since March. My streaming changes have worked. I've been able to continue doing what I love. All right. So thank you, everybody, for your support. In my case, things are good because guess what, folks? I'm a gamer at heart. I'm not a video editor. I'm not a comedian. I'm not a writer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the good thing, is that you're not one of these people that work hard on their videos and get fucked over. No. But when you get fucked over, though, you're like, hard work, guys. Playing video games is hard work. Okay.
Certainly not a filmmaker. I'm none of those things that a lot of these YouTubers are aspiring to be or trying to do. I'm just a gamer. I sit here and I play games with you every day, and I have fun, and I share those experiences, those raw, unedited experiences, and people love them, right?
No one loves them.
Therefore, because that was me, I was able to easily jump from a methodology of, the videos I'm making are just raw gameplay for YouTube to, I'm doing raw gameplay streams on Twitch every day. And I have adjusted, and so far, so good. But I am the exception to the rule. If you look at what's popular on YouTube,
I'm so tired of this, because a long time ago when I had a forum account on his shitty-ass forums, I talked about his whole thing with tips and bits, saying, like, because someone said, like, but, you think that other, why don't people complain about other Twitch streamers that do the same thing? And I said, they probably have people that report them every day to Twitch. I said, like, I don't think DSP is the first and he won't be the last person on Twitch to have a group of people report them to Twitch. I don't think that. I am so tired of Phil having this, like, special, like, this complex of, like, I'm special. I'm the exception to the rule, guys. I'm the only one on Twitch that's getting reported for bullshit. I'm the only one, dude. I am special because I'm a gamer, dude. I make a living and I got a group of detractors. No, Phil. You're not an exception to the rule. You're in the same boat as everyone else. Otherwise, you would not be complaining about ad revenue and all that shit. Yeah, you're not fucking special, buddy. I'm sorry.
Modern era, it's not my style of video. It's highly edited, scripted comedy, cut out the boring parts, do skits and stupid funny shit over the gameplay, where really the star of the video is the YouTuber, not the game, right? And I've never done that. I've always done the complete opposite. Play the game.
I don't know what Let's Player he's talking about. Skits obviously are gonna be about the person who's hosting the skit, because it's a skit. You're watching people make a joke and shit. But like Video Game Donkey, for example, yeah, he says a lot of funny shit, and he's kind of like the star of the video, but at the same time, it's also the game, because you're watching him play the fucking game and doing shit in that fucking game. Phil is just so bare bones with his playthroughs. It's just, there's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing special about it. And his whole thing, like, oh, I make the game the star, not me. Then how come people get banned, or like you start complaining when people are getting derailed when they're not talking about you in the game? Why do you make the game about yourself? If it's about the game, why do you have face cam? Why do you have fan art with your face on if you're not the star of the gameplay? That makes no fucking sense. That's like me saying, oh, people watch my videos on this channel for the video of it, for the pre-stream. They're not watching it for me. Like, obviously, you're in a way you are watching it for me, because you're watching my thoughts about this video. I know that sounds a little arrogant, and you know that's not my intention, but you know what I mean. Like, you're watching me talk about this fucking guy, and that's it. That's kind of the most basic way I could describe this video. These kind of videos. It would be dumb of me to say, well, you're not here to watch it for my thoughts on this. You're here watching it because DSP's here. Like, okay.
Make that the star. If you want to do, improv comedy or reactions to the game or whatever over it, yes, that's what I do. But primarily, I'm here to game. I'm not here to do a comedy skit or whatever. So that being said, most YouTubers who were making the kind of content that was popular got really negatively affected. Okay.
I don't see Red Letter Media complaining about YouTube ad revenue. I don't see Mega64 complaining about ad revenue. I don't see John trying to complain about ad revenue. I don't see. I mean, H3 kind of complained about it, but they at least like got over it and kind of adapted to Twitch, and they found other ways to make it work. So there's that. Rice Pirate, I don't see them complaining. I don't see Game Grumps complaining. I don't see Hot Diggity Demon complaining. The only thing that like Hot Diggity Demon and Spice Pirate, those kind of YouTubers complain about is that they did complain about the YouTube algorithm and shit, because their videos, since they're shorter videos, they get fucked over a lot, because it's just there's no benefit to their videos anymore, because they can't make long videos at all, because that's insane amount of work. But that's really it.
Some of them have a nest egg because they've been making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars even.
Who are these YouTubers that make millions of dollars? I bet you anything, if you ask him what YouTubers make millions of dollars, he'll only say PewDiePie. I guarantee that's going to be his only go-to example. There's no way that, like, I don't see James Ralph, the Angry Video Game Nerd, going on, like, a special yacht with his family or some shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, they're all millionaires. Sure, buddy.
Most people don't realize this. No, I haven't been making hand over fist hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on YouTube. I'll be honest, there was one year, that first year when I was partnered with Machinima, that things were insanely good. And I used that year to pay off all of my existing debt and get myself to square one financially. And since then, it's been good, but it certainly isn't like rolling in dough hundreds
But
of
he
thousands of
didn't save,
dollars. No,
money.
you know what I mean? Yeah, that's the truth of the matter is, I was never rich doing this.
I was never
And of
rich.
course, the choices that I made over the years, moving across the country, yada, 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 which we won't get into, have put me into a pretty bad financial situation
Why did
that
he
we won't
move
really go
across
into
the
because that's not the
country?
subject I'm trying.
He could have moved to a different state that was closer and more and different. Why do you have to move all the way to the other side?
To get on right now. But, I've had a good life doing
Remember
this.
when he said it was good? It was a good
A lot of
move?
other YouTubers have had an insane experience, making ridiculous hand-over-fist tons of money. They've got these giant nest eggs, so for them, they're like, oh, well, if the YouTube adpocalypse kills my channel, it's fine, because I have, $4 million saved up in some fucking bank account where I could live on that for the rest of my life,
Wow.
okay?
Yeah, okay.
Now, and by the way, oh my God, Taguro thinks my house is $500,000. Sir, you are an idiot. My house is not worth $500,000. Oh my, where do people get these insane notions? Insane.
Notions.
Oh my God. When I see something like that, it blows my friggin' mind, dude. Like, how gullible can you be that you think that my house is $500,000?
How gullible can his fans be to think that he's in financial straits, but able to afford Netflix, Amazon Prime, PSN Plus, Xbox Gold, Xbox Live Gold, what else? To buy a new car. He got an email from YouTube about Horizon Zero Dawn, but not getting an email from Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, you tell me.
Good God.
Good God.
Anyway. The point I'm trying to make here is, this is unprecedented. We've never had, with all this going on, all the negative shit YouTube's done over the years, no one has ever stepped up to sue YouTube. Now, if you actually read the lawsuit from Zombie Go Boom, what it's basically saying is, they can't make a living doing this for YouTube anymore. Their ad revenue has plummeted 90%, and apparently, with the new algorithm that YouTube launched, their channel in particular has been focused on and highlighted as a channel that's not advertiser friendly, so they can't monetize their videos at all anymore. Every single video that they upload, all right, basically the ads get denied, and they appeal it and they still get denied. So basically they've been put out of business. So this is why they're suing YouTube. It's not because, oh, we want YouTube to change. It's because they feel they've been put out of business because of YouTube's changes, and that the changes are unfair and monopolistic, and that if YouTube were to institute such changes that could shut down a business, that they had to give due diligence, they had to basically give notice.
It's not in the lawsuit, but the other thing is that if this does go through to court, because again, there's a lot of steps into getting a lawsuit to go through. I'm not gonna play law school here, guys. I'm not a fucking lawyer, but even if it does, I'm willing to believe and willing to bet that it will just get settled and nothing will happen. Nothing will change. I guarantee that's what's gonna happen. There's no way that they're gonna change the whole website over this one little lawsuit that YouTube is probably not losing sleep over. I'll say that they're not gonna lose sleep over this fucking lawsuit. They're probably just gonna be like, oh, okay, well, give them what they want. They want money. Give them money. Okay, they're gone now.
To said business, so the business could make preparations and changes for that change, which YouTube never does. All right? They never do. They absolutely never. YouTube never fully explains what they're doing when they change an algorithm. They never are 100% transparent. They never fully disclose anything. In fact, it's usually after the fact. Once YouTubers notice that changes are happening to their content, like, why am I getting less views? Why are my subs dropping? Why is my revenue plummeting? What is going on? They kind of put their heads together collectively, figure that shit out, and then talk about it, and then sometimes YouTube will come out and admit that something changed, okay? So, it's true. YouTube is not transparent with anything they do, and they have very much negatively affected businesses over the years that operate on their website. So
it blows my mind that DSP is acting as if like YouTube is like a restaurant or something. Like YouTube is entitled, like all these YouTubers are entitled to get like statements, like to a degree they probably should get, like YouTube should be a little bit more transparent with their changes. Sure, I'll say that. I'll agree with that, but It's like they could do whatever the fuck they want with their website. It's their fucking website. If they want to like do that shit, that's fine. Remember when every time that YouTube does a change, and people say, "Well, I'm gonna go to VidMe. I'm gonna go to Dailymotion," and then what happens?
What this lawsuit is stating from Zombie Go Boom is that basically YouTube, even though they have a terms of service, YouTube does have terms of service that say certain things. You know, they could change ad revenue contracts and all that. However, ladies and gentlemen, this is the thing that may screw Google and YouTube over. Okay.
Okay. Get all of this.
In their terms of service, it says that YouTube, as a corporation, will abide by all employment laws or not employment laws, but all business laws, is what I meant to say, per the state of California where Google is located. All right? So guess what? If there is a law in California that states that a business cannot change a certain thing or a business relationship without a contractual obligation or
YouTube, Google, whoever can easily just say that the terms of service is a contractual agreement that they can change whatever they want with the website and still be within that same legal parameter that he just said. It's amazing that he doesn't think about that. He doesn't think that, well, because the terms of service in essence is an agreement. It is a contract. As soon as you hit agree, you're agreed to be vulnerable to whatever YouTube deems to be illegal to their site, and they could say that that is the contractual obligation, that you agree that we can change it without notifying you. When you hit accept, when you hit agree, when you agree with our terms of service, you're agreeing that we can do what the fuck we want with our website, and you have to deal with it. That's what you're agreeing to. That's the contractual obligation. There you go.
Contractual notification, then guess what? YouTube is fucked. That means that everyone who is in any kind of an agreement
if there is no law like that in California, then this point is irrelevant. It's moot at this point. This whole point is relying on the assumption that California has this law, and even if they do, that he's also making the assumption that YouTube and Google are dumb enough to not say that the terms of service is a contractual thing you agree to. He doesn't think like that, because YouTube could easily just defend themselves with the terms of service and have that stand up in a court of law. But of course, DSP, lawyer Phil here, knows everything.
AdSense agreement with YouTube is owed money, because every time that YouTube changed something to take money away from someone who was in their AdSense program and they didn't properly disclose the change, they don't have a leg to stand on. But the question is, does California have a law like that? Does California have a law that protects someone that says if you're in a contractual obligation with someone and they decide to change the terms of the contract on the fly, do they legally have to explain the changes and
again, the contract is in the terms of service.
Notify you of those changes before they go into a legal effect?
It's just so fucking dumb.
If the answer is yes,
whatever.
Google's done. Like they cannot defend themselves legally in court, because that's the truth of the matter. That's what Google and YouTube has always done.
I love that he said, well, first, if we got to find out, does California have this law to protect people? The answer is yes, they do. So then why did you wonder about it if you knew? Okay.
A giant sweeping business change, don't disclose the information to anyone and just do it. And it fucks everyone over. How many times over the years have I seen these changes affect me? Whether it was the copyright system, whether it was the way that, again, ad revenues going up and down, and the way that they hand out. How many times have they changed their algorithm so that certain videos show up in search this way or that way, right? Based off of stupid fucking criteria like engagement rate and shit like that. And they don't fucking disclose it. Ever. And it does. Matt V. See, this is what you don't understand. Matt V in the stream chat just said, but YouTube's terms of service say they could change terms whenever and you have to accept that. Wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Just because YouTube wrote a terms of service doesn't mean those terms of service are legal in the state of California.
How does Phil know that maybe the terms of service was run through by a lawyer? Maybe a lawyer wrote the terms of service. Again, the terms of service can be seen as a contract. But, okay.
If no one ever sued YouTube, that means that those terms of service were never reviewed by an actual court. And therefore, no one can say whether or not those terms of service can hold up in a court of law. Even if you agree to it, if it's not legal, it doesn't matter.
What?
That's the point that this lawsuit is trying to make. They agreed, because their business is located in California, to abide by California business law. If there's a law that says a thing and their terms of service don't abide by what the law says, their terms of service are deemed invalid. And therefore, everyone's owed money, basically.
It's just so fucking dumb. This is just him, like, begging for Google to lose his lawsuit, which they probably won't. And it's just he's so blind by how YouTube can defend themselves by easily just saying, as I said multiple times, that the terms of service can be seen as a contract. But okay.
Now, in particular, the only ones in this lawsuit that'll be affected will definitely be the Zombie Go Boom channel. But it may make it so that moving forward, if YouTube decides to change anything, they have to notify people. Which would definitely be a pretty crazy change, right? So, I don't know. I mean, very interesting that this is happening and that it's going to court. I'm very curious to see what happens with this lawsuit. However, folks, it's this simple. Don't expect changes quickly. All right? Don't.
Calm down, guys.
So, what I mean by that is, court cases like this take forever. More than likely, it won't even see any kind of legal action or trial for months, if not years. If it ever does actually go to a trial, which, by the way, Zombie Go Boom is requesting a jury trial for this, which probably is not going to happen. I would be very surprised if they have a jury trial for basically a business kind of situation. It's not like this is a murder case, right? This is a...
See, this is DSP's great knowledge of law. You could get a jury trial for things that warrant that. It doesn't need to be a murder case to get that kind of trial. It depends on the severity and the length and the severity of the case in of itself. Like, it can definitely get that kind. It could get to that far in court. It just has to. It depends on a lot of factors. It doesn't have. It's not exclusive to murder trials. Phil has been watching too much Law and Order. He's watching way too much of that show. He needs to stop it.
Very much a financial thing, a business thing. I'd be very surprised if this goes to a jury trial. Pretty crazy.
Trial,
so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it.
See what happens.
But I would expect we probably won't even hear anything concrete for years about this. But to me, at least, it's interesting. Again, being someone who, over the years, I have always been kind of the person who got the butt end of the stick and who was negatively affected by any changes that YouTube made. It was funny because when I started on YouTube, from 2008 to 2012, my formula of being a YouTuber worked.
God.
Uploading the amount of videos I did, finishing new releases as quickly as I did.
So bored.
Right?
That's why I'm doing all
Putting these playthroughs out. I was getting huge views on every release that I ever did. I was the one who was getting the attention. I was hot.
I was the one getting the attention. Me! Oh my god, man. But remember, he's not the star. It's the game, not him, obviously.
In the search results for every game. And then YouTube changed all their algorithms. And next thing you know, YouTube now favors people who do edited style content and abridged content.
Yeah, it's YouTube's fault. It's not like the viewer has decided that they want to find something else. Viewers are always fickle. They're always fickle. They will always change. They will always move to one place to another. Mega64, for example, there's a lot of people that watch their shit, and then there are people that either say, okay, I'm done, I don't like them anymore, and they move on. Some people stick around. Same thing with JonTron. People like JonTron. Some people left, some people stayed. Ego Raptor, same thing. Game Grumps, same thing. Everyone has their reasons to stay or leave. The people who left DSP left for their own reason. It's because this guy is fucking toxic. That's why his fan base is the most toxic fan base you can find. I've talked about this already.
All this. And it's just bullshit because they killed my business. They really did.
They killed my business.
I was doing swimmingly.
Swimmingly.
Just amazing. I called it the wave of positivity back then.
The wave
I was like, I gotta.
He was making money, and that was the wave of positivity. Now that he can't make any money, oh, now it's negativity, guys. Oh my god, man, that's unbelievable. So YouTube changed and everyone became negative dicks? What? Okay.
Right as long as I can, because I couldn't believe that I could just sit down and play games and enjoy what I was doing and be a genuine gamer and make a living doing it, right? And then YouTube changed it all, you know? And it's their fault. You really can't blame anyone but YouTube for the issues that the site is having. Why did YouTube lose these big chunks of advertising?
Point, guys. It's YouTube's fault. My main channel, Theodore's Videos, has failed. It's not me. It can't be me. It can't be that maybe my videos are boring, or maybe that no one likes my videos or anything. No, that can't be it. It can't be. It's the fucking website. It's fucking YouTube. You know what? You know what, guys? I'm gonna make a GoFundMe, and you guys have to give me $1 a month so that I can sue YouTube for fucking over my channels, guys, okay? And I'm gonna open it right now. It's open, it's live right now. The GoFundMe is called Dark Side Theo. You can go there, give me money, and I will sue YouTube for fucking over my channel, because it can't obviously be me, guys, okay? It can't be. It's not Phil's fault, guys. It's not his fault. It's not that his commentary is stale or has gotten worse over the years. Can't be that. No. Can't be that. Maybe his channel is just stagnated so much that there's no reason to go back to it. Nah, that can't be it. No.
Advertisers because of YouTube, not because of the people who were putting videos on YouTube, because YouTube was lazy and said, let's just write a bunch of fucking algorithms instead of actually have intelligent humans employed and do hard work to make sure our business works. Let's just write fucking robot algorithms.
Yeah, because algorithms definitely make all the difference. I don't understand this thing. It's like he's saying that, like, oh, they're not getting the advertisers. They're working on algorithms instead. But like, if no one's working on the code and all this other shit that runs YouTube, then getting advertisers is not gonna fix that, because right now they're in this situation. Okay, let's say that it's the opposite. They just focus on getting advertisers happy and all that stuff, and they ignore the code of the website. And then the website goes wrong. Do you think the advertisers are going to stick around on a website that barely functions anymore? No. Then the argument would be, YouTube's not functioning their website. They're not doing proper maintenance, guys. They're busy getting the money from the advertisers. See, Phil's argument is very one-sided. It's because if one thing is wrong, and it's fucking shitty. It's a shitty argument that he's making, to be honest. And what else? I had another thing I was going to say, but I can't think of it. Oh, and I like how he thinks that it's YouTube's responsibility to get advertisers. It's not their responsibility. Like TV channels, they don't go out there and seek advertisers. The advertisers seek them. The advertisers go to the cable networks and ask them, hey, do you have any thoughts for my advertisement? I want my advertisement to be on this channel and all this stuff. The NBC, CNN, Fox, whatever, doesn't go out and be like, hey, we need advertisers, and you're the advertisers we need. No, that's not how it works. YouTube has no obligation to get advertisers to be on their website. You can argue that it benefits them to get advertisers for their website, sure, but it's not their responsibility. They don't have to do that. They have other ways of making money, because Google, get this, is a huge company. They have other venues of making money. YouTube is just a facet, a faucet of that. It's just a little branch within the Google empire that they make money off of. They can bleed money off of YouTube, and they'll still be able to breathe. They'll still be able to sleep at night.
And leave it to them. It's just laziness and ineptitude that's caused YouTube to be driven into the ground the way it is. The website single-handedly went from the biggest video sharing place on the planet, where anyone who had talent, or anyone who was entertaining, or anyone who didn't have production budget, who didn't have connections in the industry, could put out video content of any kind, get noticed, and make it big and become popular.
So I can't upload videos now on YouTube because I'm not popular? That sucks. No, you can still upload videos. It's just, you know, yeah, if you're going into YouTube to make money, I guarantee every single YouTuber on the planet would tell you do not do YouTube as a full-time job. Don't go for a YouTube career immediately. They would tell you to get a job first. I guarantee that's what they would do, because that's where a lot of YouTubers started. They started with getting jobs. They didn't start making money off of fucking YouTube. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And it went from that to a website that's now, everything has to be highly produced, everything has to have a ton of money put into it, everything has to have professional level quality, just like a television show, to even get noticed, to even show up in a search algorithm, to even get an ad on it. It's all got to be this bullshit, which is what everything else is, and we don't need that. We already have.
But the thing is, Phil, is if advertisers want their ads to be on products that are well made, they're not gonna go on fucking shitty ass fucking videos. They would naturally want to be on fucking popular videos. It's not YouTube that does it. It's the fucking advertisers. Do you think the advertisers would want their products to be associated with shitty fucking videos? Are you fucking for real? Like, and let's say that on the let's say in a parallel universe, I decided to make this channel monetized. Do you think a Coca-Cola would say, "I want my ads to be on these videos"? Fuck no. No one would want to be associated with these fucking shitty ass fucking videos. No, Phil. Get the fuck out of here.
Have television. We already have a movie industry. We already have a highly produced music industry. We didn't need it again on YouTube.
Guess what, Phil? Like you, they want money. They want fucking money. They want as much money as they can get. Like, you already have Patreon. You already have YouTube. Why do you need tips? Why do you need bits, Phil? Oh, because you need more money. Why do you need a managed partnership, Phil? Why do you need that? You already have money. Okay.
That's not what the spirit of the website was supposed to fucking be, but that's what Google turned it into with their fucking greed and laziness and ineptitude over the course
coming
of...
from the guy who refuses to play Splatoon 2 because he can't get paid. But YouTube is the one that's greedy. He cannot take one day to play Splatoon 2. He cannot do most interviews without getting paid money unless you're a fucking DSP slave. No, obviously. Yeah. DSP is not greedy, guys. Why does he need a Teespring? Why is he not doing any KO gaming videos? Why isn't he doing vlogs anymore? I wonder.
A good 10-year span. So, all that being said, I'm very interested to see what happens. For me, is the YouTube thing that big of a deal anymore? Not really. Because like I've told you guys,
he went on a fucking 33 rant just to say it's not a big fucking deal. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. No.
I know I'll never be popular on YouTube again. I mean, yeah, my channel brings in about 1 to 2 billion views a month. And yeah, when I do big playthroughs,
this guy holds a grudge on YouTube. He still gives a fuck about YouTube. He will always care about YouTube. He could not upload videos. Let's say that he doesn't upload any videos to DSP Gaming at all anymore, and he does this Twitch only. He would still complain about YouTube every day. He would still talk about YouTube regardless. He cannot stop talking about YouTube. He loves talking about it. He can't help himself but to talk about YouTube because he's fucking obsessed with YouTube. And I'm sure I'm gonna get the comment, "Oh, Theo, it's just like you and when you talk about Phil." Okay, fair enough. I'm not gonna say that I don't give a shit about DSP. Obviously, I do care enough to make a video. But for Phil to talk it 33 fucking minutes about YouTube and to go into a podcast talking about YouTube, to say that he doesn't care is fucking bullshit. Who's he fooling with that? Come on. So yeah, if you're gonna tell me before you make the comment, "Oh, you spend your life around DSP," ask yourself, why does DSP talk about YouTube all the time if he doesn't care about it? What makes him so different about him obsessing over YouTube and me talking about DSP? Okay.
I can get tens of thousands of views on a few videos or whatever, but I'm never going to be back to where I was, right? YouTube, through its site changes, has instituted and basically brainwashed the common viewer to think that if this video is in a certain length,
Wow.
if it doesn't have a certain kind of thumbnail,
brainwashed the YouTube viewer, says the fucking guy who conditioned his fans to give a fuck about views, about money, about tips and bits and bit cheers, cheer wars, cheerleading, all of this fucking nonsense. And he's saying that YouTube is the one that's brainwashing the fucking users? No, I'm sorry, YouTube is not brainwashing anyone. It's him. He's the one doing the brainwashing, because why do you think it's the viewers? Why do you think a viewer would give a fuck about YouTube views? Why would, if you watch DSP Gaming, would he give a fuck about his views? No. Yeah, okay.
If it doesn't have a certain level of editing and a certain amount of abridgedness, this video is garbage. Regardless.
If I can't make money off Splatoon 2, no one cares about it. Who cares? Let's be honest, guys. No one cares about Splatoon 2 because no one comes to my streams. No one cares because I don't care about it. Oh, it's not a big game because I don't think it's a big game. Oh, you know, the views are low. I need to get more engagement. I need more views, guys. Views. I don't want to be Mr. Views, but I need to be Mr. Views, guys. Bits, cheer wars, cheerleading is fun, guys. These cheer wars are a lot of fun. It's a fun game. People can throw their money at me and they can compete with bit wars. Isn't that fun? It's fun, guys. A lot of people have a lot of fun. Yeah, okay.
Regardless of the fact that that's not the case.
Oh my
that
God.
Variety is the spice of life, and having different kinds of content on YouTube is what made it successful over the years. By homogenizing the fucking website, you turn it into something that's not good. But
caring about money and making a channel, DSP Gaming, making that channel that was about gameplay and all this stuff to be about Patreon. You need to donate to my Patreon goal. Oh, the bits, the cheers. Oh, the subbing. Oh, look at my people who are subbing to me on Twitch, and bits and cheers, donations. Thank you. All that stuff is not what gaming should be about. But he made it about that because he is everything he hates. Get the fuck out of here. I don't brainwash my fucking yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. For me, like I said, YouTube, I will always try to upload videos to YouTube. All right? But for me, it's the background thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be me
It's the background thing, guys. Yeah, okay. That's why when the Rockstar copyright strike hit, he really did not care about that, right? It was the back end, right? Right?
My focus is daily live stream, sharing those
guys,
experiences
okay?
here with you guys on stream, okay? And then, recording that and uploading that to YouTube on the back end. Like I told you, my ultimate goal is to try to make Twitch streaming my main thing. Bullshit. I would love to get, especially this upcoming gaming season with all the new releases. If I could bring in new viewers every day for the new releases, I could get people doing things like cheering and subbing and tipping and make...
Dude, he thinks he's going to get a stable income in the fall. I'm not going to say that he's not going to make nothing. He'll make enough, sure. He'll probably make enough to be happy, but he'll still complain about not getting enough for... He's gonna complain. He's gonna do more drama vlogs in the fall. Mark my words. He's gonna go back to drama vlogging in the fall. But after that, it will go back to where he is right now. It's gonna be the same fucking shit over and over and over and over. And that's why a lot of people don't think he's telling the truth, because it's just ridiculous. It's such an odd cycle he goes in. Oh, well, it's the hardcore games. Gotta get pumped, dog. Gotta get pumped. I'm gonna get enough money, guys. Oh, gotta get people to cheer and sub, guys. Woo! Fall comes in. Oh, wow, good stream attendance. This day gets like 400, 500 views, whatever. He gets like whatever bits from his slaves, and then he makes a vlog. Guys, I don't know what's gonna happen in the fall, maybe next year in the spring. I don't know if I'll be able to do this anymore. I thought the hardcore game season was gonna be good, but games were duds. People were showing up at the beginning of the playthrough, but were trickling out. This and that, blah blah blah. And then in the spring and summer, oh well, it's slow, guys. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, but the hardcore gaming season 2018, it's gonna be lit, guys. It's gonna be fucking amazing, guys. gotta get hyped for 2018. It's the same cycle over and over and over and over and over. Same shit, different day.
This my primary job, then I could say I don't give a shit what happens over on YouTube. Let them fuck their website up completely,
sure,
right?
That's gonna happen. Yeah.
You just be the icing on the cake
YouTube,
of me being able to.
He's not gonna care about another source of income. Are you? I really fucking doubt that. I doubt that. I guarantee. Well, okay. You know, I usually don't want to say this because it's kind of a shitty thing to say, but if he ever gets to that point where he's happy with Twitch and he's like, "Oh, Twitch is my main thing," woo, he says that shit. I want someone to submit another false copyright strike to his channel and just see how much he doesn't care. I just want, like, I would not recommend that regardless. I mean, I still kind of don't want that to happen, but if he's making this claim that he will not care about YouTube if he makes a lot of money on Twitch, I would like to see that. I would like to see him not care about YouTube and see what happens, because I guarantee if anything goes wrong with YouTube, he will complain about it. I guarantee that's gonna happen. There's no fucking way he's not gonna not care about YouTube. That's a lie.
Enjoy my gaming experiences here with you on stream daily, and YouTube can just be the background thing. Right now, sadly, that's not the case. Right now, it's still kind of 50-50, where it's 50% YouTube, 50% Twitch. But it has to change. Let me explain why, everyone. Here's why it has to change, okay? Allow me to give you some perspective here. Because YouTube is so inconsistent. For example, in the month of June versus July, I just got the results in this morning, okay? Because now it's 3 days into August, so I finally got the monthly results for July. In the month of July, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I had about a 5% dip, very minuscule. Every month, why was it a 5% dip in July over June? Because there were no new releases. There were no new games.
Remember when July was going to be the most positive year for DSP? Yeah, okay.
It was me doing downtime stuff. Way worse. I've had summers where it tanked the month of July, okay? Guess how much less money I made on YouTube in the month of July versus the month of June?
Remember when he said that and he went on a vacation in July. I made less money in July, dude, but I went on a vacation. Good idea, right? Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
I'm not exaggerating here. I did the math. About 25 to 30%. So, 5% decrease in views, 25 to 30% decrease in ad revenue on YouTube in 1 month. And why is that? Is that because of me? Is that because of you? No. It's because YouTube sucks. They don't
see. He's brainwashing his viewers to think it's YouTube's fault that he's not making money.
Do their jobs. They're not good workers. They don't go out there and actively get the advertisement revenue to make the website consistent.
See what I mean? He thinks that that's the problem, that they're not going out to get advertisers, but like it's not Google's responsibility to get advertisers. It's not their job. Their job isn't to get advertisers. Like, I kind of want Phil to work at Google just to see what they do on a day-to-day basis, and he would be amazed at how that's not their job responsibility. If he said that it should be their job responsibility, that's different. That's different, but it's not their job to get advertisers. It's not their responsibility.
Instead, they say, oh, well, it's the summer, and traditionally ad revenue always plummets during the summer everywhere, so we're not going to say whatever ads come to us. They don't go out there and actively seek the better ads. I mean, just think about how many products you only sell during the summer, right? Things that will only make sense during the summer months. Vacations, camping equipment, sporting goods.
Yeah. Go to a gaming channel and you're gonna see an advertisement for camping shit and resorts and vacations. Really? Oh, I'm gonna watch some gaming. Oh, camping gear. That's what I want. Yeah. Okay, Phil. Remember when he complained about how advertisers were going on channels that don't fit the product? How does camping work for gaming? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck?
So many things that you could get advertisements from. But did you see any of those ads on fucking YouTube during July? Of course not.
Because no one goes to YouTube for fucking summer. They're on vacation already. Oh my.
It's easy. They probably wrote a fucking algorithm to contact advertisers and bring in ads to the web.
What? Oh my god, I didn't even hear that part when I watched this pre-stream. That blows my mind. That genuinely blows my mind. I don't understand coding myself. I don't understand necessarily what YouTube employees do. I mean, I assume that they do coding and that kind of shit. I just don't know the extent. But I can tell you there's no way that they wrote an algorithm to contact advertisers. That sounds fucking ridiculous. That sounds insane. That doesn't sound even realistic to me. That sounds like a science fiction story. Oh my god, man. That is something. That is genuinely something. Really? Dude, I hope he's joking when he said that. I better hear a laugh after he said that. There's no way that he genuinely believes that.
Website. That's how they do everything.
What?
That's seriously how they do it. They don't actually work, fucking do any work.
Oh my god.
So,
oh my god, man.
In the month of July, I'll take a nice 25 to 30% dip in my income that I made on YouTube because they don't do their jobs. Gee, thanks. Thanks a lot, Google and YouTube. But you see what I mean? This is how ridiculous the fucking company has always been. But then, of course, at the end of the year, oh, well, it's Christmas. So now everyone's trying to sell their products. So there's an artificial increase in ad revenues at the end of the year. And it's like, unbelievable.
Shut the fuck up.
But anyway, I digress. We all know there's always been massive issues with YouTube.
29 minutes. What
I just wanted to go ahead and, share that information regarding this lawsuit because it's the first time ever. I mean to ban you. I was clicking to try to... You're not banned, dude. First time ever to do something and take years. It's certainly not like we did a 10-bit cheer. He says, Phil, what would you do if Google bought Twitch from Amazon and integrated it into YouTube and changed the business model to what's on YouTube right now? I would belch as loud as I possibly could in disapproval.
But how would that work? Oh, I need to do edited videos for streams. What? Edited streams? What's that? What the what?
And then I would probably pack it up and say I've had enough and end it all. Just say, fuck this, I'm done. I'm not going to do videos anymore.
I really
seriously. Like I said, the only reason I'm still here and capable of doing this daily with you guys is because I went to a Twitch on a very different business model and everything. Became Google integrated and whatever. Assimilated like the Borg. That would be it. I'd say I'm done. I got to go get another kind of job. That's it. It's over.
It's over. There's
no way I could keep doing this. I couldn't. Why don't you start a new creative series? Phil, why don't you do this? I just don't. I really, because I'm seriously, I've had it up to my eyeballs with fucking YouTube. I just don't. Go back to KO Gaming and make highly edited videos every day. I can't. Why would I bother? I can't make money doing it.
Why would I bother? Fuck KO Gaming. Fuck you. If you like KO Gaming, fuck you.
I would be shooting myself in the foot and basically throwing my house away if I did that.
Yeah, because obviously making money off of streams and KO Gaming is such a burden. Okay.
Because YouTube fucked up so bad this year.
Then why are you doing Hate
That's
Live?
why KO Gaming's dead. It's not because I don't...
Why are you doing Hate Live? Why are you doing the Weekend Preview on a channel that's on AdSense?
I want to make that kind of video. I like doing it. But there's no point in me investing, several sessions when I could be streaming and making money and playing games and having
fun. That's
such
a load of shit. You know what? No. Now I think it's shit. Now that I think about it, now that I said that, he does the Weekend Preview. He doesn't stream it. He just records it. Because Hate Live I can kind of see because he streams it, so he might make money through bits and cheers and that. Okay, fair enough. But the Weekend Preview isn't streamed. It's recorded. He just fucking puts all of that on a channel that's on Google AdSense. So he's more willing to do videos for a channel that's on Google AdSense. He also does DSP tries it. He would much rather put his efforts to that than a channel that's partnered with Curse.
And putting it into a highly edited video that I make no money on because YouTube fucked up.
Yeah.
It's that simple. yeah, I would have to go out and get another kind of job and give up on all this, which I don't want to do. I mean, I've been doing this since 2008. I certainly don't want to give up on it 9 years later. Shout out to Golden Colts, who did a 45-bit cheer, and he said, Phil, have you heard that people on YouTube are starting to self-censor swear words so they can remain favorable on YouTube? Will you do this? No. If you've noticed, I've not changed up my gameplay style whatsoever on YouTube. The bottom line is, from what I've seen, when videos do get flagged being advertiser unfriendly, typically it takes a few days. Like, at first you can monetize, and then maybe it'll take 2-3 days, and then usually there's some kind of a review process by which YouTube will review the video and, you know, determine whether or not it's advertiser unfriendly. After like 3-4 days or whatever, I really don't care if the ads go off my.
I want you guys to go back to March when he got to curse, when he started doing curse, and look at how he reacted to every email he got about his videos being claimed. Go back to that. Did he sound like he didn't care? No, he cared. He cares. There's no way that deep down he knows he lied right there. That's bull. That's like a load of shit right there. Oh, well, I make enough money in a few days, so I don't care if I don't make money on that video. You know, after a week or whatever of that video being live, I don't care. In March, wow, my WWE 2K13 playthrough got claimed. Fucking WWE bullshit. GTA 4 got claimed. Fucking nonsense. Fuck them. Oh, but now it's I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, okay, sure.
Videos, just being real here, because most people end up watching my videos.
Says the guy who said that Machinima hurt him for fucking him over or whatever. Okay.
Within the first few days. Especially for big new releases, that's always the case. Yes, there's always going to be those residual views, and it sucks that if a lot of my videos aren't getting paid for those residual views anymore. But that being said, it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. Okay?
Not that big of a deal.
That Anonymous did a 50-bit cheer. He said, have you ever seen Scorch's PFG TV?
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with this. We're done with this video. We've seen enough. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's a pretty long one. It's longer than what I expected, but it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. I might do the Heat Live thing tomorrow. So, there you go. See you guys when I see ya.